This is Ian Lamont, founder of Lean Media Consulting. I've been a seller on Amazon for more than 20 years, 8 of those years as a pro seller. And today's topic is a question about VA permissions, virtual assistants. If this video helps, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. So we're looking at the screen, the permissions screen on my Amazon seller account for a service provider. You can see that this service provider is really locked down. There's 4 columns here: none, view, view and edit, and admin. If you check out view and edit or admin, that means you're really giving the service provider a lot of access to your account. But you can see in this particular case, this service provider has almost no access to my account. And if you scroll down, you can see there's basically only one area where they have view and edit access, and that is manage FBA inventory and shipments and manage inventory at a product. So my answer to the question of what permission should you give a virtual assistant for your Amazon seller account is only what's necessary. You should be really clear on what you want that service provider to do, whether it's a virtual assistant or somebody else, and then only grant those permissions that are necessary. So for this particular service provider, I need help with managing cross-border shipments. I've given the ability for this service provider to manage inventory at a product and manage FBA inventory shipments. That's like the one thing that I want them to be working on, is managing inventory and shipments. So I've given them permission to do that. You can see I've shut down everything else, like selling applications, upload inventory, upload and manage videos. They do not have any ability to manage that part of it. And I'm pretty clear with that service provider. It's like, all right, this is all I want you to do, this part of it. You're not touching any other part of my business. If you have a virtual assistant, when you contract that person, of course, they're going to say, oh yeah, I can do X, Y, and Z. But maybe you only need them to do Y. And if that's the case, then only activate the permissions for Y. X and Z, no access to those particular things. Now, for virtual assistants in particular, this gets to be a tricky situation. There are some very good virtual assistants, but there are some who are totally sketchy. I've seen many sellers in the past complain about their virtual assistant really borking their account on Seller Central because they don't know what they're doing, or they break some Amazon policy. There's also an issue of trust, and this is on an earlier video that I posted about basically walking step by step about granting user permissions in Amazon Seller Central. Somebody said, is it possible for a VA to delete my Amazon listing? And this person is obviously not quite sure if their VA should have access to certain parts of their Amazon business, and they're worried about either the VA deliberately or accidentally deleting a listing. But if they've actually asked that VA to be responsible for manage inventory and add a product, if you go to manage inventory, you'll notice one of the options in the dropdown here is delete product and listing. So if you've given that VA the ability to manage inventory and to deal with that part of your business, that means they can do anything on this screen. And as you can imagine, if things go south, if things aren't working out, that can cause big problems for your particular business. So you really need to vet your service providers. You need to be very clear with them and with yourself what you want them to be doing. The user permissions should be really set up in a way that optimizes for what they need to be doing, and then shutting down what they don't need to touch at all. You have to be really, really careful about this. And of course, the manage users permissions, that part, you can access it, by the way, by going to this gear icon and then selecting user permissions. This is how you should be managing other people accessing your account. You should not be sharing your Amazon seller account login with anybody else. User permissions is the way to do it. But anyways, that's my little spiel on dealing with user permissions. If you have more questions about dealing with an Amazon account, I've been doing this for a long time. If you go to leanmedia.org, it's my official website, click on blog, you'll see tons of free advice about how to deal with Amazon business, the scams to watch out for, and my video channels also have information about that too. So be sure to subscribe. This is Ian Lamont signing off. Thank you so much for watching.